Sure, let's see this comic. Just because this is actually really neat. Did they allow me to change stuff?
Just another routine mission.
Oh, hey, we
Why
got...
do they always say that before a mission? Of course it's routine. You haven't done anything yet. It's everything that happens along the way. The choices you make, the paths you choose, that turn the routine into anything but. Of course, that's how it started. A routine mission. Answering a distress
Oh, he's
call.
still alive. Oh, he really is being suffocated and burned alive at the same
We were
time.
testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was.
Oh, no, this actually is a comic.
I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Caden Olenko. A good kid, loyal, by the book, with a talent for biotics.
Hey, Caden.
We came across the lone survivor of the patrol, Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core.
They were good people. I regret that I couldn't use them more
Ready to
often.
take on
And that I
whatever
started
came
off
our way.
hating them.
Ashley joined up with us and took us to the spot where she lost her squad.
Why does her hair look so frizzy there?
That's
She
what
did
we
not have
saw.
frizzy hair.
The ship. Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted
Although I
away.
can't see my arrow.
We
My
followed the path
cursor.
of destruction to an artifact.
Oh, the
A beacon
get look
by a long-dead race
creepy.
called the Protheans. The colony had
It
dug
looks
up,
almost
and whoever attacked it was trying to
organic.
take it.
What in the
Chief
world?
Williams made the mistake of getting too close.
Ugh.
It hit her with some type of energy. I grabbed her and threw her out of the way. That's when it hit me. Hard.
Oh, that's so
Every muscle in my
gross.
body went rigid. I couldn't move. Could barely breathe. Everything went black.
Okay, now see, if we actually saw this picture,
vision.
it would make a lot more
Dream.
sense.
A nightmare. By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen.
A bunch of nothing.
Anderson came along. So did Adina, our political representative on the Citadel.
Who
With
sucked?
those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat. As was the individual behind the attacks.
Unfortunately, they didn't believe
The
us.
suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren.
What was that
But even
connection?
Adina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council. They just couldn't believe one of their chosen elite Spectres could be guilty of something like
My
that.
Spectre, my
needed
shepherd,
Which meant I needed proof.
sounds very bitter about this.
I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian,
Garrus!
wanted to help.
I feel so bad I couldn't use
Top
him.
agent for Citadel Security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren, and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them. That led me to Rex, the biggest, nastiest looking Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen. He turned out to be more than just a brute. It was his intel that led to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be a
Tally,
Anton
my
Barbarian
favorite.
named Tally.
Tally.
A tech expert with a knack for hacking.
You can romance her in this game, so you can guess who I'm gonna romance.
Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty.
In case you don't know, it's gonna be Tally.
Tally's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and that the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But
What's
it
a
went
flagship?
much further. Saren was trying to find a way to.
Oh,
bring
that's
back
a
the race
creepy
of
picture.
sentient machines from
Hi.
dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for
Is that-
cleansing the
is
galaxy.
that supposed to be
of all
Saren?
organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the
I love this
mass relay to dark
comic.
space,
This is so
leaving no
interesting.
trace
What
they
in the
ever
world?
made. That explained why Saren was after the beacon, and it made some sense out of my visions. But not much else. We couldn't convince the Council that the Reapers were a threat, but they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre.
About friggin'
My
time.
first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind, giving up his ship, the Normandy. He told me I would need it more than he would.
The true hero we
He also pointed
deserve.
me in a direction.
Maybe not.
Liara. A
Hey,
Prothean
Liara.
adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia.
The one who saved us so many times by throwing enemies in the air.
Like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other species.
Okay, Shepard, I don't like how you're talking
Liara
about
was
her.
able to help me
You're
decipher
not
some
gonna
of the
romance her.
visions
You're
of the
romancing Tally. Get with the program.
but it gave me some clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari. Her technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant.
Shepard?
Ashley was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara.
None?
Commander, I knew
No.
either relationship had the potential to interfere with the mission.
No.
I decided discretion was the better part of valor, and kept my focus on our goal.
Thank
finding
you.
Saren. Thanks to Liara's help, we had our next
I
lead.
made sure to avoid romance options.
Saren had
I say
taken
that,
me to
but
Noveria,
Liara actually
where he
confessed that I had to
enslaved
turn her
a dangerous
down.
race of insect-like creatures, the Rachni. He ordered Benezia to use the same technique Liara had used on me to extract information from the Rachni Queen. The Queen's drones were everywhere, and they weren't happy.
Hey,
Fight through hundreds
Liara
of them
looking
to get
cool.
Benezia. By the time we arrived, Saren
Wait,
was
is it
gone
called that pic
with the
Liara?
information.
That her picture
I
is
tried to
there?
reason with Benezia, but Saren had indoctrinated
Or would that have been
He had somehow
whoever I
acquired
took
the
at the
ability to
time?
control
So I did
her
take
own
Liara
actions
with
and
me.
wills. Benezia wouldn't surrender, and Liara was forced to watch her mother die in her arms.
Yeah, why didn't we save
And I was left with an
Benezia?
angry, dangerous Rachni Queen to deal with. She claimed her drones would do no harm if I released her. But the Rachni had terrorized the galaxy before.
They
Couldn't
learn.
do it.
Everything will be
I
fine.
wouldn't doom an entire species for past sins. And the Queen was true to her word. She left and took her army of drones with her.
Hopefully they'll be good,
He was quickly running out of time and places
just
to hide.
good.
I tracked him down at his base on Vermeer, but we soon learned it was more than a base of operations. It was a breeding ground. Saren was breeding an army of Krogan.
Is that a baby?
He
Is that a
found cure
baby
for the
Krogan?
genophage, a disease
in the
inflicted on the
thing
Krogan to
right
prevent
there?
them from breeding and taking over the
What in the
galaxy.
world?
But the Krogan Saren was breeding were slaves, mindless beasts that obeyed Saren's will. I had to destroy the base and all its research.
Why
Rex
did we
disagreed.
destroy the research? Like, why could we not use it
Rex
again?
wanted the genophage cure for his people. I tried to convince him to help me destroy it, that these Krogan weren't real. But he wouldn't back down. Fortunately, Rex is smarter than he looks. He realized this wasn't
Wow.
the way to help his people.
Why are
And
you
Saren was
insulting
the real
Rex right now?
When we finally got to the center of the base, I realized just how close Saren was to completing his plan. He was already in communication with the Reapers. Sovereign, Saren's flagship we'd all assumed was just a ship, was a Reaper.
How did they?
It spoke to me.
How did that even become a?
threatened me. I could feel the menace it had for every living thing.
Oh
It wanted
no!
me dead. It wanted us all dead. And I knew it was capable of doing just that.
Ooh,
What I couldn't understand was why Saren would help it.
I was wondering
There was
how
no
a
time
Reaper
to
was
think
actually made. You can't just
Sovereign
take
knew where we
a
were.
person and turn it
Destroy the
into a
base and get the
ship.
hell out. I split up
Could
my
you?
team in 2 squads, sending Ash with one and Caden with the
No,
other as a distraction.
no, you can't.
We had a nuke, and we planned to use it. Before we could detonate the bomb, Saren showed up.
Okay,
We fought.
Saren did not
Just
have a
wanted to make time
cool
for my team.
hoverboard-like
And in
object.
talking to him,
If he did, I would have been
realized
mad
the
because I want it.
it wasn't Saren who was indoctrinating everyone. It was Sovereign. The Reaper. And Saren was in deeper than all of them. He tried to convince me he was still in control. Said he found a way to reduce the Reaper's influence, but he was
Oh, that
kidding
is not a
or
pretty
believing
picture
the
for
lies Sovereign was telling.
Saren.
Before I could convince him to stop, he ran, leaving me just seconds to extract my squad mates. I tried, but I wasn't fast enough.
Why is Caden next to the
Only saved one
bomb?
of them. Ash was a good friend and a great soldier, but I had to choose.
Okay, it was the other way
I chose
around.
Caden.
Ashley was next
Was
to the
last time Saren
nuke.
would slip away from
I
me.
sent Caden
I
to
knew that
Kiria.
the next time we met, one of us would die. With my team mostly intact, we chased Saren and his army to Ilos, a long-lost planet that had once belonged to the Protheans. As we prepared for what we knew would be a desperate fight, I spoke to my crew. We were just one ship, against Saren's growing army. I assured them all that despite the odds, we could defeat him.
And we
I'd
did.
never tell anyone, but I had my doubts. Leaving Ashley behind had hardened my resolve, but revealed a soft spot in my defenses. How many more friends and allies would I be willing to sacrifice in order to stop Saren?
Luckily
We
none.
arrived on Ilos, close behind Saren. Once on the planet, we discovered a Prothean databank that helped me put the final pieces of my vision together. The Reapers had come 50,000 years ago, and every 50,000 years before that, each time purging the galaxy of life.
You know, I feel like this would be a lot better if I actually didn't just jump straight into Mass Effect 2.
But a few survived long enough to leave a parting gift. The Protheans had discovered that the Citadel was the key to controlling the mass relays. By sabotaging the Citadel, they found a way to close the relays to dark space, slowing the Reapers' return, giving us the time we needed to find a solution to stop the Reapers once and for all. Saren knew this.
I can't believe you didn't
His
mention the
army to take
Keepers.
control of the Citadel.
Like, I was so
Reestablish the
shocked when I
relays to
learned
dark
about the
space,
Keepers.
bringing the waiting Reapers here to destroy us all. We followed him to the Citadel. It was intact, but heavily damaged. He had
Oh, there's
caught the Council
Tali.
by surprise, and they were only
There's
now
Garrus, who I did not use at all,
with Sovereign as
unfortunately.
his flagship.
And
There was little hope the fleets
there's
could counterattack with enough
Liara,
strength to take back the Citadel.
who I'm gonna assume
But Saren
is...
was done running, and I was done chasing him. As the Alliance and Citadel fleets battled Saren's army outside,
I mean, I understand why it's not a one-to-one ratio what actually happened.
he died believing that the Reapers would save him. As I fought to
No,
regain control of the
no, you
Citadel,
didn't. We
the
charmed
Council's
him,
flagship,
which,
Destiny
again, I
Essential,
understand
fell under
why
attack.
it's not a
Despite
one-to-one
Saren's
thing of
death,
what actually
Sovereign
happened,
and
because
Saren's
drawing that
army
many
continued to
panels
fight.
for every
The
outcome
Council
would be
supported the Destiny
insane.
Ascension, and they were requesting assistance. But I knew in order to help them, I would have to put our Human Alliance fleet in jeopardy. The
Which we
Council
did.
had to be saved. They represented the hearts and minds of the galactic community. Without
More
them,
like
the
I
fleet
just
would
want
be
to
in
prove to
disarray.
everyone wrong and that humans
Even with
wasn't
the Citadel back
racist.
in my control, Saren defeated,
Which, funnily
and
enough,
the Normandy leading the combined galactic fleet.
hopefully worked.
The battle against Sovereign, a single Reaper, was relentless. It took the combined fleets of humanity and the other races. But in
About
the
friggin' time.
end, Sovereign fell.
That ship has overstayed its welcome.
Were immense. While humanity's efforts in the war earned us our first seat on the Council, it was a hollow victory. The Reapers were still out there. I knew the fight was far from over, but as the one who'd led the fight against Saren, I was given new responsibilities. The choice of
I
humanity's
don't
first
care.
counselor was left for me to decide.
I still don't care. Maybe Udina was probably the right person to put in charge. Maybe he would have been this ultra helpful ally.
Political landmines that would soon be
I
put in
don't
front of
trust him.
The other choice, Captain Anderson. the
I do
career
not
soldier.
trust Udina,
Tough but fair, but a friend.
and I trust
Someone I can
Captain
trust.
Anderson.
Both great leaders in their own
This is
right.
what happened when you burn
Anderson
bridges,
didn't want the
Udina.
job, which was a sure sign he'd be perfect for it. No ambition to get in the way.
You grounded me
War
when you
was
shouldn't
over.
have had to. I told you I would remember.
In time, the Council would rebuild itself. The Citadel could be repaired. Even the pain of lost friends would fade. But none of that mattered if the Reapers were still out.
Yes, we really do.
If they were all as powerful as Sovereign, we had to find a way to stop them. I had to find a way. I gathered my crew, took my ship, and went in search of answers. Officially, the Council would only say I was assigned to cleanup duty, rooting out any remnants of
bullcrap.
Saren's army. Just another routine mission.